Hi everyone, Rocker here. Today I'm going to talk about the hot topic of BDSM and Gor. Oftentimes when you look at people's profiles on places like FetLife and Biker Kiss or when this topic does come up, it always seems to be labeled BDSM versus Gor, as if it's one against the other, or that they're in competition with one another. That doesn't have to be the case. Now, BDSM that we do recognize, and I think everyone will accept and acknowledge, is that it's a sexual activity. Whether sex is involved or not, it is sexual in nature. You know, as far as whipping, paddling somebody, doing some electrical play, dragon's tails, some rope bondage, whatever. It is a kinky activity. It is not a philosophy. It is not who we identify ourselves as, that is what we are, but it is what we do. It's what we enjoy doing with our partners. Gore, on the other hand, is based on a set philosophy and lifestyle. The philosophy is basically geared around honor, integrity, truth, strength, duty, and freedom. Now, the lifestyle encompasses everything as far as the master-slave dynamic, but that doesn't have to be kink-oriented. Because the master-slave dynamic can stand completely on its own. You have biblical examples of it in the past. You have cultural examples that are still prevalent even today, where kink is not involved. It is just simply a dynamic, a power dynamic between a master and his slave. One of the other things as well is that you will find, going way back in history, the longest I've been able to find in research was back in 1989, is when on the internet there was a huge war. It was a huge war. It went on for about 2 years. Is between the quote-unquote BDSMers, or the people that were involved in kink sites, and those that were Gorean. Back in the day is that BDSMers insisted that all Goreans were a subset of BDSM. And of course the fact that you had Goreans on what stood up to that and stood against that, saying, no, you're wrong. We are not kinky, we're not into BDSM, we are based on a philosophy and a lifestyle, not an activity. And so you had this huge clash between the two. And that's even prevalent today. Today you will have some Goreans, not many, but there's still a few kicking around that will insist that you cannot be kinky and be Gorean. You know, that's their personal preference. But it's actually not true. You can be kinky and you can be Gorean. That is your choice. It has nothing to do with the philosophy. It has nothing to do with the lifestyle. Kink is simply an activity that you enjoy doing with your partner. Gore is a way of life. It's following and striving to follow the philosophy and living the lifestyle in a master-slave dynamic. Now, when you have a lot of people, and usually they're the most vocal within the Gorean circles, is basically say that you cannot be both, is they don't understand what being Gorean is actually all about. Is how they can take it upon themselves that they can dictate what you do with your slave, and actually think that they have some kind of authority over that is absolute nonsense. They have no authority. What you choose to do with your slave as a master is completely up to you. If you happen to want to do kink and be involved in sexual and kinky activities, that's your prerogative. If it's consensual and it's agreed upon between you and your partner, your slave, and hopefully it is, it better be, but hopefully you can find someone that is just as kinky as you are. But when that does happen, that's between the two of you. You can't have someone else basically chiming in, is that, well, you're not Gorean because you're kinky. Utter nonsense. But you will have people out there that will, to this day, still think that they have some kind of a say and some kind of authority what you do in your relationships. they don't. So anyhow, in a nutshell, BDSM is an activity. Gore is following a philosophy and living the lifestyle. The two can go hand in hand, but they don't necessarily have to. There are many Goreans that are not kinky. There are many Goreans that are kinky. It's their choice, and what they choose to do with their partner is between them, and it's nobody else's business. Thank you for watching.